Have I confused schooling with education? That question, it stings a little, doesn't it? Because for most of us, the two have always felt like the same thing. But what if they aren't? What if all those years in classrooms, lectures, endless assignments didn't actually teach us how to live? Marcus Aurelius didn't have a degree. Seneca didn't cram for standardized tests. Yet their wisdom has shaped lives for centuries. So what did they know? What did they understand about learning that maybe we've forgotten? Take, for example, the modern classroom. We have technology, interactive lessons, and endless resources at our fingertips. Yet many students still feel disengaged, unfulfilled, and disconnected from the real essence of learning. Perhaps true education is less about the structure and more about the journey of self-discovery and understanding. It's about finding meaning, purpose, and a deeper connection to the world around us. From the moment we're old enough to walk, we're placed in systems, schools, curriculums, or grades. We're told when to speak or what to memorize and when to move on. And we're rewarded not for thinking, but for compliance. We start to believe that education is a certificate, a GPA, a gold star, but that's not education. That's credentialing. That's obedience. That's a game you learn to play. Very well. In some cases, but at what cost? When did we stop questioning? When did we stop wondering? When did learning become passive? Something we wait for, rather than something we chase. This mindset stifles personal growth and creativity. True education is about exploration, curiosity, and the courage to think differently. It's about nurturing the mind and spirit, not just filling a resume. So let's reclaim the essence of education. Beyond credentials, beyond compliance. Let's embrace learning as a lifelong journey filled with curiosity and wonder. The Stoics had a very different idea of what it meant to be educated. To them, education wasn't what you knew. It was how you lived. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you learn for life, not for appearances." He didn't care how well-read you were. He cared whether you lived justly, courageously, wisely. Education wasn't about filling your mind. It was about transforming your character. Think about that. In a world obsessed with information, how many of us are obsessed with wisdom? In a culture full of answers, how many of us are still learning how to ask the right questions? Seneca said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." Unlike today's focus on credentials, the Stoics valued wisdom and virtue above all. So let's strive to live wisely and justly, embodying the true essence of education. Being educated doesn't mean you've graduated. It means you've grown. It means you've unlearned what no longer serves you. It means you've learned to think clearly in the fog of emotion, to act with integrity in a world addicted to shortcuts. An educated person doesn't just regurgitate facts. They reflect. They listen. They admit what they don't know. And they live deliberately. You can graduate summa cum laude and still fail at life. You can drop out and still become deeply, dangerously wise. The question isn't what school taught you. The question is, what have you taught yourself since? Take Socrates, who questioned everything and sought wisdom over mere knowledge. Or Nelson Mandela, who learned and grew even in the confines of a prison cell. And Malala Yousafzai, who continues to fight for education despite facing immense adversity. True education is a lifelong journey, not a destination. Real education, like Stoicism, is uncomfortable. It forces you to confront your biases, to let go of your ego, to see how little you truly know. That's not something you get from a diploma. That's something you earn in solitude, in silence, and suffering. Seneca said, "While we teach, we learn." That means education is active, reciprocal. It demands your attention. It asks you to wrestle with ideas, to live them out, to test them in the heat of experience, and to fail, often. That's how you know you're learning. Not when it's easy, but when it changes you. Take, for example, Thomas Edison. He faced countless failures before inventing the light bulb. Each failure was a lesson, each setback a step towards mastery. Real education is uncomfortable because it transforms you through struggle and perseverance. It's the journey, not the destination, that shapes you. So maybe the question isn't what school did I go to, but what lessons have I chosen to live by? Have I studied empathy? Have I mastered discipline? Have I sharpened my awareness? Have I learned how to sit with discomfort? How to listen deeply? How to hold myself accountable? You can be surrounded by books and still be ignorant. You can be buried in titles and still be small. But if you're committed to truth, if you're willing to keep learning, even when no one is watching, then you're walking the path of the truly educated. Real education has no end. There's no graduation. There's only the question. Am I more whole today than I was yesterday? To continue learning, set clear goals for yourself. What do you want to master next? Make reading a daily habit. Dive into books that challenge your perspective. Practice new skills regularly. Whether it's learning a new language or picking up a hobby. Keep your mind active. Incorporate mindfulness practices. Meditation and reflection can deepen your understanding. Engage in meaningful conversations. Discuss ideas with others to broaden your horizons. Give back. Teaching and mentoring can reinforce your own learning. Reflect on your progress. Regularly assess what you've learned and set new milestones. Remember, the journey of education is lifelong. Embrace it with curiosity and dedication. Here's your Stoic challenge. Take one belief you learned in school about success, failure, worth, intelligence, and question it. Not with cynicism, but with curiosity. Ask yourself, is this true? Does this serve me? Or is this just a script I've never thought to rewrite? If you're ready to keep unlearning the noise and learning what really matters, subscribe. Here, we don't teach you what to think. We ask you to think more clearly, more honestly, more courageously, like this video if it sparked something in you. Comment below. What lesson did school not teach you, but life did? Share your experiences and thoughts in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else to think differently.